York City. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you on behalf of Shanti Fund and Multicultural of New York. We will begin our program with national anthem, first with India, and then we will have some of I will have two people singing Indian national anthem, Ms. Sai Vedika Chandrasekhar and Vivan Pandya.
Those ones who know Korean national anthem, join with me singing. Thank you.
Now I request our Indian Consul General Ranjit Jeswani, who has been here for 3 years and has made our community very happy and excited with all the activities happening in this one. This is our 3 or 4th activity of Shanti Fund that wouldn't have happened without this help. Welcome.
Good evening, friends. Very warm welcome to all of you. Honorable Consul General Kim, Mr. Arvind Gora of Shanti Fund, our dear friends from Multicultural Council of New York, and from Shanti Fund. Thank you for joining us this evening for a program that is very profound, very meaningful. We are here to celebrate India's freedom. We are here to celebrate Independence Day of South Korea, and therefore we are here to celebrate India-South Korea togetherness, our friendship. In the last 3 years that I have been here, there have been several occasions in which the Indian American community or the Indian community and the South Korean American community or the South Korean community have done so many things together in Long Island and beyond, in Philadelphia where we have a large Korean community as well. But India connects with South Korea at several levels, from deep down in history to present times. I will leave the history part to our Honorable Consul General to tell us more about the story of kings, queens, prince, princess, so on and so forth. But India-South Korea relations is one that is vibrant, dynamic, energetic. We are doing several things together, several things that form part of the discourse of the 21st century. So much so that as I was talking to our dear Consul General, can you imagine what I was talking about? Chips and semiconductors. So that is how close we are. India, South Korea, we have flourishing trade, economic, technological collaboration, and we have old civilizational links. Therefore, we have a beautiful exhibition being celebrated here at the Met Museum called Tree and Serpent, early Buddhist art from India, in celebration of 75 years of India. From here, this whole exhibition travels to South Korea, November onwards. And that is because we have old ancient links that have come this far and today is flourishing and galloping. So thank you very much, Honorable Consul General, for giving us this opportunity to celebrate our friendship, our mutual understanding, trust and cooperation that we have between our two countries, yes, but between our communities far away from India and far away from South Korea. We look forward to hosting the President of South Korea at the G20 Summit in New Delhi next month. That will be yet another occasion for us to raise the two flags and to raise a toast to our friendship. Thank you very much for your gracious presence, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy this afternoon. Thank you.
Now it is my honor to welcome Honorable Consul General of the Republic of Korea, Honorable Kim. Sir.
Good evening, everyone. I like the band. Very nice band. My fellow friends, Indian people, actually this is my first time to see so many Indian people like this in this room. Unfortunately, I have never been to India yet. Sorry about that. Definitely I'll come in the very near future. Great. Since I came to New York at the end of December last year, I joined many the occasions and the very distant events like this. But actually it's my first time to see the only two countries together and try to celebrate both countries the great heritage about Independence Day. In this regard, I could feel very privileged, and in this sense, I have to say my huge appreciation to my colleague, my respectable Consul General of India, and many of my colleagues in India, the great country. So I'm very privileged. Actually, my friends, sorry, the Consul General of India, his English is much better than mine, but he didn't give a speech without any draft. But from Korean side, we have always been proud of speaking foreign language, especially English. So I need my draft. So I'll give you my short speech based on my draft. Okay. So actually, he mentioned about our very special history. I talk about that kind of thing. India and Korea have had a special relationship since a very long time ago. In particular, India has a special relationship with my ancestor, Kim's family. My last name, Kim. Maybe that's why I'm here to celebrate today India's Independence Day. 2,000 years ago, an Indian princess, the kingdom of Ayutthaya, he came to Korea. And she was a princess of Ayutthaya. And he got married, my ancestor, the king of Gaya, 2,000 years ago. Since then, Korea and India have become very close countries. I belong to Gaya, the 2,000 years ago, always older the kingdom. Since then, Korea and India have become very close countries. India also helped Korea during the Korean War. India is a country of historical kinship with Korea, but also a country that shares the values of fighting together for liberal democracy. In less than 5 years since Korea became independent, the entire country was reduced to ashes due to the Korean War caused by the invasion of North Korean communists. And the Korean people had to suffer in miserable poverty. However, with the help of the free world, such as the United States and the United Nations, definitely one of the United Nations member countries was India. Korea has achieved miraculous prosperity. India is also rapidly developing into the most important country after independence through the liberal democracy system like Korea. My understanding of the current India's economy, the volume ranked number 5, the 5th the entire world. This is amazing. However, I forgot my sentence. Korea and India are expected to cooperate very closely, not only in the historical, economical aspects, but also in security. For Korea, the Indo-Pacific region is the most important area in terms of security. Today, I congratulate India's Independence Day once again, and I wish that India, the most important partner and friend to Korea, as I said, historically, economically, and in terms of security, will continue even closer friendships and cooperation with Korea in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Consul General. I have been to South Korea with my wife and myself more than 6 times. And every time I go, oh my God. And if you ever go to Samsung Museum, their parking lot is dust-free. If you go to the museum inside, it's just wonder. It's probably 1 hour drive from Seoul, but it's must for anybody going to South Korea. And the downtown Seoul is like, I don't want to denigrate New York City or any of the city in this country, but it's just clean, fabulous, and just wonderful. And the hospitality is beyond imagination. And I could not stop saying about one Indian restaurant I went there. In that Indian restaurant, during my whole week. I felt like going every day because it was such a like homemade my mom's food. Anyway, next one item is by Joseph Kwan Cho, son atop the mountain. I may be pronouncing your name wrong, so my apologies for that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to be invited to this special event. Due to time constraints, I will read it without further ado. 상상의 노래. 높으디 높은 산마루 낡은 고목에 못 박힌 듯 기대어 내 홀로 긴 밤을 무엇을 간구하며 울어봤는가. 아, 이 아침 시들은 핏줄의 구비구비로 사늘한 가슴에 한복판까지 은은히 물려오는 종소리. 이제 눈 감아도 오히려 꽃다운 하늘이거든. 내 영혼의 촛불로 어둠 속에 나래 떨던 샛별아 숨으라. 많이 트이는 이마위 떠오르는 햇살은 10월 상달의 꿈과 같구나. 메마른 입술에 피가 돌아 오래 졌던 피리의 가락을 거듭느니 새들 즐거이 구름 끝에 노래하고 사슴과 토끼는 한국이 향기로운 살순을 사양하라. 여기 높으디 높은 산마루 맑은 바람 속에 옷자락을 날리며 내 홀로 서서 무엇을 기다리며 노래하는가.
My apology to Good Lilji. Sorry, I skip you. It's your turn now.
Namaste everyone. Annyeonghaseyo. Last 35 years I'm working with the Korean groups in different countries. That's why when they all asked me to do the prayer, I'm ready. Especially in our house, the best consulate in New York City, welcome everyone. So this is a traditional mantras, over 10,000 years old. It's written in Sanskrit, going to do 5 mantras from different books. Before that, blow the shell. The shell is given by a monk. He was 123 years old, passed away. He blew at the consulate in 2007. Now we are going to blow it again. Oh पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति 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 So, when you do the translation, otherwise people won't wonder what it is. The first mantra, we sacrifice to Triambaka, the fragrant, increase of prosperity like a cucumber from its stem, might I be free from death, not from deathlessness. The second mantra, may everyone be happy, may everyone be free from all disease, may everyone see goodness and auspiciousness in everything, may none be unhappy or distressed on peace. The third one, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, lead us from death to immortality. Om peace. The last one is, may the whole world be happy. Just think, thousands of years back, our sages made the happiness and peace for everyone. The world was favored to put up one family.
Yon Ya Choi, Jim Lee, Jenny Lee, Diana Yoon, Yoon Ju, welcome.
Thank
much. Give one more time, clapping your hands. Now we are going to have two stories by immigrants, their successes and challenges in this country. I have slight change in the program. I'm going to invite community leader Nita Jain to say a few words about her trial and tribulations in America, followed by I'm going to invite Eddie Young.
Good evening and namaskar to all of you. As you heard, my name is Dr. Nita Jain. I'm a Democratic District Leader from Queens, New York State Assembly District 25. I'm also a founder and a president of an International Ahimsa Foundation, Inc. That NGO promotes non-violence and peace, togetherness, and one family, one world, which is our Prime Minister Modi's motto for this year, not only, but for the future as well. First of all, I would like to welcome our Consul General of South Korea, who came to the first time our India's Council, and I congratulate you for your Independence Day and to our family, our Indian family on our Independence Day. And this is not the first time, guys. I just want to let you know that we have been celebrating India's and South Korean Independence Day on 15th of August in Flushing, Queens for several years. And this is the first time our Honorable Consul General Randeep Jaiswalji took an initiative, and which is a very prominent initiative to bring two countries together on this stage right here in India home. So I definitely want to congratulate our Consul General, Mr. Randeep Jaiswalji as well. As you know that we are all here migrated to this wonderful land of opportunity from different corners of this world. And we always, as an Indian, believe Vasudev Kutumbakam means the whole world is a one family. And this is not a coincidence that we are sitting here. It's our destiny that we are supposed to meet here on this land, right here, which we call United Nations of America, which united the whole world, the whole community, different cultures, ethnicities, religions together. And as we know, the New York is the melting pot, and we embrace all differences which exist in this world happily. And this is one of the examples of that we are celebrating two different great nations' Independence Day together right here in New York City. As Mr. Arvind Vora, who I consider my big brother, have asked me to share my story. I migrated here in this country more than 3 decades, and I started my journey as a professional. I'm a psychologist and I run my own business. And this business is not a business, but it is again a community service which we provide through our agency. And our agency does this work for no boundaries of communities, culture, creed and color. And what we do services for the children who have special needs, who are disabled, and they speak different languages. Our agency serves specifically bilingual, psychological, special education, speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy services to children. And that's why I'm telling you this. That says that we are all together in our journey, in our struggles, in our fights for our identity on this earth. And we are all together. And I believe this is a story of everyone, what we share here on this stage. And I started my political career very early when I came to this country, and in short, that I never call it a political career, but indeed it's again a community service, and that's how I started. I got involved in one of the non-profit organizations who used to serve people from the domestic violence victims and DWI cases. And that's how I started, and I started getting connected to our government's political offices to get services and help to these victims. And from that day till today, I never stopped. And here I am, and I'm sure that we are all in the same boat, looking for our identity, establishing ourselves, and here we are today, a very developed community in this country. And I congratulate South Korean community and Indian community on their flourishment in this country. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Nitaji. Our next story is by A. Yong Choi. I have the whole speech as prepared in advance and it's in the program booklet. It is a very touching story, and I hope people take the program booklet and read at leisurely pace. You will be impressed with her life story.
First of all, I just want to do my greetings standing up. Good afternoon, everyone, and greetings to Consul General of India, Mr. Honorable Randir Jaswal, and greetings to Consul General of South Korea, Honorable Lee Hyun Kim. My name is Ayon Choi, and I had said that the podium was too high, and so I would stand outside, but apparently, thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me to share my personal story. Let me start by expressing my deep gratitude to all of you for being here today, and to the hosts, the Shanti Fund, the Multicultural Council of New York, and especially the Consul General of India, who is hosting. We are here to celebrate a hugely significant historical date that our two countries share. August 15th, Independence Day. Korea regained its independence from Japan on August 15, 1945, and India was liberated from British rule on August 15, 1947. These ties will always bind us in friendship. Many of you were not even around at that time, but it is very important to understand history in order to know who we are, each of us as individuals, as a community, and as a global society. We must be able to trust and appreciate each other in order to be able to address together the many intractable problems facing our world today. Like most of you, I am a child of the diaspora. My growing up years were spent in Shanghai, Taiwan, and Tokyo before I came to the US at the age of 20 to start college. I am now a US citizen, and over the years have been blessed that my family has grown in every possible multicultural way. From whom we love, to what we eat, what we value, essentially how we live. When I was 5 years old, World War II ended with the horrific bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I saw, at 5 years old, with my very, very young eyes, the microcosm of the huge, perplexing world out there, all through a tiny keyhole, literally speaking. When Japan surrendered in 1945, Korea became free. That long-awaited day of liberation brought crowds of people streaming into our house in Shanghai, erupting with joy, grabbing each other and dancing around in pure excitement and relief. Out in the countryside, beyond Shanghai, my father gathered groups of disheveled young Korean men who had been conscripted by the Japanese military for their war camps. Now they were abandoned, desperate, and starving. He brought them home. My mother helped them bathe, eat, and get into clean clothes, and sheltered them in our living room for many days. My young siblings and I watched all this drama unfold for many days with mounting confusion through a tiny keyhole from a back room we were forbidden to leave. Through the night, some aunties came in to make piles of little Korean flags. When my father announced on the Voice of America the name, age, and hometown of each man he had found, and the date of their return home, it was the first time that their families all over Korea learned that their sons were still alive. Imagine that. On the day their ship sailed, each one held a small Korean flag as he walked slowly up to the ship's deck. We waved to them from the docks below, tears flowing. I was 5 years old then, but these memories are as real and vivid for me today as last night's dream. As you know, Korea's liberation was short-lived, and the tragic division of our land at the 38th parallel, now called the DMZ, has kept 3 generations of Koreans divided, separated in the north and south, unable to ever see their loved ones again. While active fighting in the war was temporarily halted by the armistice in 1953, the war did not officially end. So we have remained enemies. It is time to end the Korean War. 73 years is too long. 8 years ago, I had the life-changing experience of crossing the DMZ from North Korea to South Korea with 30 international peace builders. We walked to call for an end to this forgotten war, to reunite separated families, and to build a path to peace and reconciliation on the Korean Peninsula. Not doing so now is to openly court the risk of another catastrophic war, intentional or accidental, that will be far worse than any past wars and far beyond just the Korean Peninsula. So let us honor and remember our forefathers' dreams of liberation. Let us work together to avert war at all costs and build a far better world that recognizes all nations as worthy of respect and dignity. Let us strive for true human security for all. Most of all, let us strive for peace. We have a lot of work to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. so many divergent things happening in India for the last at least 3,000 years, if not more. And next story is about Journey to Wisdom, tribute to culture and spirituality, story of Tirthankar Mahavir by Surbir Pandya. I welcome Surbir to come over here and Mool will say, if you want to say a few words.
Thank you. As we are here to celebrate the spirit of our independence, let us not just reflect on the profound significance we have of the human rights that we enjoyed from the independence we have got, but let us also ponder upon getting ourselves free from our debilitating, shackling thoughts and emotions. Wars have been fought out there, but there is a bigger war that needs to be fought, which is inside ourselves. This war is freedom from anger, freedom from fears, doubts, freedom from our negative thoughts. The fear makes us so insecure that we are not able to touch and explore horizons out there. It hinders our not just personal growth, but also the growth and the vision of our countries and world altogether. What about doubt? The doubt confines us, erodes us from our level of confidence. What about anger? Anger is so debilitating, it can destroy and probably the prime emotion for the wars which are happening that we see around us. So the bigger war that needs to be fought is the inner war. And from this story of Tirthankar Mahavir, we will learn that the real freedom is when we free ourselves from these debilitating emotions and bring some light upon our inner states and create that conscience level of touching our greater consciousness. You know what? Gandhiji fought the war, but actually his level of consciousness was higher than the level of consciousness of the whole of British Army. This is just unbelievable. That is the place where we need to fight our own wars. So please enjoy this little clip of Tirthankar Mahavir. The movie is actually 30 minutes and we have put together just 6 to 7 minutes of the movie Tirthankar Mahavir. Thank you.
तुम्हारे क्रोध और घमंड के कारण किस तरह तुम्हें ये सीन के रूप में जन्म मिला है। इस हिंसक रूप में रत रहने से तुमने अपने असली रूप को भूलकर अहंकार की अपनी पहचान बना लिया है। अपनी भीड़ के पर्याय में भी तुम ऐसे ही हिंसक रहे थे। देखो,
हीरो के सरदार गुरु रवा की जय हो।
यहां कोई शिकार जाने वाला है।
रुकिए स्वामी, हमारे आने पर भी ये शांत कैसे हैं? प्रणाम महात्मन।
प्रणाम। हे महात्मा, आप कौन हैं? भय, छल और क्रोध जैसे भाव तो आपके निकट भी नहीं दिखाई दे रहे। ये कैसा सुख है आपके पास? हे भीलराज, मेरे पास आत्मिक सुख है। जो सुख हमें बाहर में दिखाई पड़ता है वो केवल सुख का आभास है। आकाश में चमकते हुए तारों की तरह वो क्षणिक है और अंत में खत्म हो जाता है। हाँ, मैंने आज तक जितने भी कार्य किए वो अपने मान और अहंकार की पुष्टि के लिए, और उनसे जो भी सुख मिला वो बस थोड़े ही समय तक रहा, और मैं हर बार नए सुख को पाने में ही लग रहा। मांस, मद्य और मधु खाना, चोरी करना, बहुत अधिक परिग्रह करना, ये सब हिंसा के कार्य है और आत्मिक सुख का घात करने वाले हैं। अतः तुम अहिंसा व्रत का पालन करो। अहिंसा ही परम धर्म है। इसके पालन से तुम्हारा जीवन निर्मल और सरल होगा। वनराज, भीड़ की पर्याय में तुमने हिंसा तो छोड़ी, लेकिन अभी सच्चे सुख के अनुभव से तुम अनभिज्ञ थे, और फिर कई जन्मों के बाद तुमने जो अहिंसा का व्रत लिया था उसके प्रभाव से तुम युग के आदि तीर्थंकर, जिन ब्रह्मा, विष्णु एवं महेश के नाम से जानते हैं, ऐसे ऋषभदेव के पौत्र मरीचि को। सिंहराज, कई भों के बाद में तुम त्रिपृष्ठ नाम के नारायण बन गए।
मैं सबका स्वामी हूं।
देखा सिंहराज, इसी अहंकार और क्षणिक सुख को ही सच्चा मानने के कारण तुम आज सिंह बने और इन निर्बल प्राणियों को मारकर अपने आप को बलशाली समझ रहे हो। यदि सच में बलवान बनना चाहते हो तो अपने ही भीतर जो कमियां हैं उन पर विजय प्राप्त करो और परम विजयी बनो। जो वास्तविक सुख है वो तुम्हें अपने अंदर ही ढूंढना होगा। अब तुम्हारी आयु कुछ ही समय की शेष बची है। इस बचे हुए समय में क्षमा भाव को धारण करो।
राजकुमार के शरीर में 1008 शुभ लक्षण है। वे असाधारण व्यक्तित्व को दर्शाते हैं।
महारानी की जय हो, महाराज की जय हो, राजकुमार की जय हो।
राजकुमार वर्धमान का यह कथन सर्वथा उचित है। मोक्ष मार्ग ही मानव जीवन का मूल है। आप इन्हें जिन दीक्षा लेने के लिए आशीर्वाद दीजिए महाराज।
वर्षाकाल में वृक्ष के नीचे, शीतकाल में नदी के तट पर और ग्रीष्मकाल में पर्वत की शिला पर उपवास सहित ध्यान करते थे। मुनिराज महावीर ने इस प्रकार मौन पूर्वक 12 वर्ष तक तपस्या की और फिर एक दिन
श्री
beautiful movie last week at Parliament of World Region in Chicago, and I give credit to Sukhbir to cut it down to 20%. It's a marvelous, it's a touching story, it's a spiritual things from our great nation of India. Now I have to read the message from Academy President. Unfortunately, he couldn't come, but their association established in 1960 extend their greatest success to this today's inaugural celebration of two countries, and they have assured us that there is going to be a bigger, better, and more comprehensive celebration this year. I thank Academy President for conveying this message. Our next item is this song by So Young Lee, and she always like youngster. She catches them and does a wonderful job.
I just met Vivan, and as an international baccalaureate primary years program coach, he became my friend. So I said, why not? I just met her, and we are singing this beautiful song together.
Imagine all the people
Now we have the last item of the event, Let There Be Peace on Earth. This is, I figured that everything we did so far, Indian and South Korean and we are in America, we should have one thing about America. So here we have, and there is, everybody please, just in front of back cover, there are wording, and so we'll keep note of who is singing with her and who is not.
At this time, let's just look at each other and say, let there be peace with you. Let us just spread the peace with each other, to the left person and right person. And let's stand and sing the Let There Be Peace on Earth. Okay. So, everyone, I guess we got to know each other. All right. So, I give you time now to take a look at the lyrics. So, we're going now, okay? Yeah.
Now I invite our Deputy Consul General, Dr. Varun Jain, to have the closing remarks as well as vote of thanks.
Thank you, Arvind Bhai. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. How thoughtful, how deep, and how meaningful words. And just the apt song as we celebrate our spirit of freedom, our spirit of independence, and our democracy with two dear friends, two nations that are so close to each other, as we heard the two consuls general narrate to us how Korea and India, how the two countries have been, that they share close ties going back as far as 2000 years, those ties strengthened by Buddhism. And let me share one thing with you all. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, the famous Nobel laureate, the first non-European to win that in the literature category, when he was traveling to Japan, one of the Koreans asked him to pen down a song
for Korea, and the song that he came up with, driving and deriving inspiration from this Korean civilization, was the lamp to the world. That is how we Indians look at Korea. We've been deriving inspiration from your great country, and the world has been deriving inspiration from our two great countries, from the Indian civilization as well as from the Korean. And therefore this event today becomes that much more special as we celebrate our Independence Day, which comes on the same day of the year, 15th of August. But today's event is also special as the two countries also celebrate 50 years of establishment of formal diplomatic relations with each other. And these celebrations are going on in Korea, they are going on in India, and it is such a delight and privilege and pleasure for us to host it here in this consulate in the presence of our two Honorable Consuls General. This ceremony also becomes that much more special and meaningful because we are joined by the community members from both the Indian American and Indian community and by the Korean and the Korean American community here, which, as we heard Dr. Neeta Jain mention, has made a mark for itself in this wonderful country of United States. We have been adding value to the economic and the technological landscape of United States, and we have also been strengthening the socio-cultural fabric of this country. So thank you all for joining us as we celebrated our spirit of freedom, our spirit of democracy, our spirit of independence. Let me also take this opportunity to thank Mr. Arvind Vora and Shanti Fund Multicultural Council of New York for bringing us all together, for putting this event together. I remember it was at this very ballroom a couple of months back that we had all joined, that many of us had joined here for an event commemorating the Black History Month. Consul General was having a conversation with Arvind Bhai, and that is when he mentioned that India and the Republic of Korea share their Independence Day. So why not come together and celebrate it, of course, across the United States, but also here in the India House. So here we are, joined by all of you. So once again, thank you to Shanti Fund, thank you to all of you, and a special thanks to Honorable Consul General Kim from Republic of Korea for joining us and for making this ceremony, making this event, this occasion even more special. Thank you all very much.